You think intimacy is physical. You think it's about closeness in the obvious sense. But here's the first reality most men never see. It's never physical first. It's psychological. It's emotional. Every time you move too fast, try too hard, or assume she feels the same way you do, you're stepping on a silent code she has no patience for. And if you've ever wondered why she pulls back, why desire fizzles despite proximity, it's because you failed to understand the rules before you even started playing the game. Here's the first truth most men never realize. She craves emotional safety first, not flattery, not hot words whispered in a dim room. Safety is her filter. Without it, your touch, your energy, even your presence feels like a threat. She has a radar for danger, subtle, unspoken, automatic. A tense shoulder, an anxious glance, an overeager reach, all of it signals risk before attraction can even start. Safety is the gateway. When she feels it, walls go down. When she doesn't, even the best gestures are meaningless. Past wounds live in the folds of her instinct. One wrong look and she retreats before desire can ignite. This is where most men get it wrong. She wants confidence, not perfection. You think grand gestures or flawless execution make her want you. They don't. She reads stability, calm command, self-possession. Confidence is silent. It doesn't shout. It carries weight. She feels it in the steadiness of your energy, in the way you navigate stress without cracking. Perfection pressures. Confidence entices. It's the quiet knowledge that you can handle yourself, that your presence is dependable. When you falter, panic, or overcompensate, she notices. And she doesn't forgive ignorance easily, even when it's well-meaning. And this is the part nobody warns you about. She feels desire through connection. Not casual connection, not surface smiles, not one-night small talk. Real connection. Listening without judgment, being fully present, reading her subtle shifts in energy. Desire grows in the space where she knows she's understood, where emotional resonance triggers anticipation in her nervous system. Touch alone is weak without that connection. Chemistry without alignment is hollow. She will not submit fully to intimacy unless her mind is engaged and her instincts assured. Here's another truth most men ignore. She needs to be seen, not fixed. Every attempt to improve her, every suggestion disguised as care, registers as criticism before it registers as attention. Solutions are sterile. Recognition is magnetic. She craves acknowledgement of her reality, not alteration. When you listen, truly observe, and validate, you create a rare space where vulnerability feels safe. Try to adjust her, control her emotions, or teach her, and the attraction erodes quietly, but irreversibly. Desire is always amplified by understanding, never by correction. If you've experienced this, you already know. She responds to calm, not chaos. Emotional storms, explosive reactions, anxious energy, these are the instant red flags. Her nervous system detects it faster than her conscious mind. Calm is a signal of stability, of protection, of grounded presence. Chaos triggers withdrawal, subconscious skepticism, hesitation. You can't fake it, can't force it, can't compensate later. Calm draws her in. Volatility pushes her back. Her desire is a thermometer for your steadiness. Every crack in your composure echoes through her body as a reason to hesitate. And here's where most men fail without seeing it. She wants depth before passion. Lust without understanding is temporary, shallow, almost irrelevant. Emotional layers, shared fears, subtle insights into her psyche. This is what fuels intensity. If you rush to the physical without establishing depth, you ignite tension that fades too quickly. True desire grows when she knows you see her fully, when her inner world is mirrored and reflected without judgment. Depth signals reliability, authenticity, and trustworthiness, all of which prime her for intimacy that feels inevitable rather than forced. Here's the truth most men avoid. She feels trust before vulnerability. She will never fully expose herself until she believes you won't betray or abandon her. That trust is not verbal, it's behavioral, subconscious, invisible. Consistency, boundaries, honesty. All of these whisper to her nervous system that it's safe to open up. Without it, every attempt at intimacy triggers instinctive withdrawal. Emotional surrender isn't a choice. It's a conditional reflex, calibrated by trust. You can't shortcut it. You can't bribe it. You can only embody it. If you've experienced this, you already know. She craves presence over words. Conversation is cheap. Attention is expensive. Your focus, your undivided energy, the way you inhabit the moment with her. These are the true signals of attraction. Multitasking, distraction, or superficial speech erodes desire faster than silence. Presence carries weight. Words can explain, but presence communicates. Presence awakens subconscious recognition of safety and value. It pulls her in before she even realizes it. Here's the part most men never see. She tests emotional strength silently. No words, no confrontations, no overt games. Small withdrawals, subtle challenges, moments of tension, all are probes into your reliability and resilience. Her subconscious gauges your energy, your response to uncertainty, your ability to remain grounded. Weakness is detected instinctively. It shuts doors quietly. Strength invites surrender. She doesn't ask directly. She observes, she feels, she adjusts. Your emotional stability sets the stage for intimacy before you touch her or even speak. And here's the final tension point for part 1. She seeks authenticity, not performance. Every forced smile, every rehearsed compliment, every attempt to impress beyond your natural self sets off alarm bells she doesn't name. She wants real emotion, subtle truth, the quiet courage to be unpolished and human. Performance triggers caution. Authenticity triggers desire. It's the difference between intimacy that ignites and connection that dies in silence. And right now, if you felt this in past relationships, you're realizing a painful truth. You've been performing when she was waiting for presence, stability, and truth. That misalignment is why walls went up before intimacy could even take root. And now, it's quiet. The tension hangs. You feel it in your chest, maybe in your mind, maybe in your stomach. The rules are invisible. The code is silent. And the question lingers. How much of yourself have you given before she even felt safe to receive it? That question is where part 2 begins, where we confront the deeper truth you've been avoiding, about her, about desire, and about yourself. There was that tension lingering, the silent question of how much you've been misreading her, misfiring your energy, miscalculating her desire. Now, here's the harsh truth most men never admit to themselves. The problem wasn't just her. The problem was you. You brought inconsistency, chaos, and performance to a system that operates on subtle cues, instinctual responses, and silent tests. And this is where most men never survive the realization. Here's the first truth men refuse to face. Her patience is not endless. Emotional walls, subtle retreats, measured responses, these are not games for your amusement. They are defense mechanisms evolved over years of rejection, disappointment, and betrayal. She is watching. She is testing. Every lapse in grounding, every burst of insecurity, every attempt to push past her rhythm without earning it chips away at the foundation of desire. She doesn't tell you. She withdraws quietly. And by the time you notice, the dynamic has already shifted. You are no longer the center of attraction. You are the variable she tolerates. Reason number 2 why attraction quietly dies. She mirrors your energy and you never noticed. Your inconsistency teaches her to match, to hold back, to protect herself. You think she is aloof, uninterested, or testing you. She is reacting to the signals you broadcast unconsciously. When you panic, she tenses. When you overcompensate, she disengages. When you are calm, grounded, and self-contained, she lowers walls almost imperceptibly. She is never the manipulator you imagined. She is the silent gauge of your capacity to hold yourself in her presence. This is the moment she stops seeing you the same way. Every attempt to force closeness triggers withdrawal. Every moment you try to perform authenticity backfires because she senses the gap between intention and truth. You see, women do not react to words or actions. They react to alignment. Your internal state dictates the energy she invests, the vulnerability she allows, and the desire she grants. And if your foundation wavers, her walls rise. You can't argue. You can't explain. You can only rebuild the alignment you broke. And here's the part most men ignore. She tests emotional strength silently. Small disagreements, subtle withdrawals, mild uncertainty. These are all invisible tests. You fail one, and desire shrinks imperceptibly. You fail another, and walls thicken. She does not need drama. She needs calibration. She wants to feel that in your presence, she is safe, not excited by chaos. Every lapse, every misread, every impulsive action chips away at the trust she's reluctantly giving. Emotional surrender is not granted. It is earned by quiet resilience. Here's a revelation that will feel like a punch. She wants authenticity, not performance. All the rehearsed charm, all the over-explained gestures, all the attempts to be the perfect man signal risk, not reward. Authenticity is magnetic. Realness is irresistible. Pretending triggers the nervous system's defense mechanisms. And here's the dark truth. When you've spent years performing, you've conditioned her to doubt, to hesitate, to hold back. Desire is always a mirror of your internal truth. You give her a mask, she will respond with walls. You give her you, she will respond with surrender. And now, let's flip the lens. The deeper layer most men avoid. It isn't her walls that scare you. It's your own. You fear rejection. You fear being seen. You fear imperfection. That fear broadcasts itself silently, continuously, and she reads it instinctively. She mirrors it. She matches it. She responds to it without even thinking. Your insecurity becomes her caution. Your neediness becomes her gate. Your anxiety becomes the signal to hold back. And now you realize the intimacy you wanted most was sabotaged by your own failure to command your presence, to own your energy, to hold yourself without apology. Reason number 7 why men fail. She values presence over words, but you sold attention cheaply. Multitasking, distracted glances, half-hearted engagement, all signals she registers as risk, disinterest, or instability. Desire cannot flourish in partial presence. She notices micro-expressions, shifts in tone, even the cadence of your breathing when you think she's not watching. Every subtle lapse communicates more than you know, and attraction is recalculated moment by moment based on these cues. You cannot outsource attention. You cannot fake it. You cannot recover lost alignment with words alone. And here's the moment that separates men from illusions. She craves depth before passion. She feels passion after psychological intimacy, after emotional calibration, after subtle tension built on trust, presence, and alignment. Physical closeness without that depth is empty. Every touch, every glance, every whispered word without that foundation is a tease that does not convert into lasting desire. She is not fickle. She is precise. She is tuned to subconscious rhythms you have ignored, undervalued, and misread. And every time you overstep or underdeliver, desire recedes like water from a disrupted surface. Here's the final descent. She trusts before she is vulnerable. And here's the brutal truth. If you have not embodied trustworthiness, presence, and authenticity, she will not expose herself to you, no matter how much you crave connection. Walls rise silently, her energy contracts, and what you interpreted as disinterest or games was a perfectly logical response to signals you have broadcast. Vulnerability is never demanded. It is always earned. And once her walls are up, they do not fall easily, not because she is obstinate, but because desire and safety are calibrated at an unconscious level far beyond your perception. And here's the coldest, hardest truth of all. If you fail at presence, alignment, and authenticity, intimacy does not just fail. It never begins. She will mirror your instability, match your insecurity, and retreat before you realize it. Desire is a silent contract signed in energy, not words. Every lapse leaves an imprint she cannot ignore, a subtle erosion of attraction that may never recover. You will look back and realize the walls, the withdrawal, the subtle hesitations. It was all a response to you, all a reflection of what you projected, all a mirror of the man you brought into the space, and the final, irreversible realization. You cannot outsource attraction. You cannot fake safety, performance, or authenticity. You cannot demand desire. You can only embody the state that triggers it. Grounded presence, emotional consistency, quiet confidence, and realness. The moment you understand this, you see every failed connection clearly. Every retreat, every hesitation, every pullback, exposed for what it was. And you realize, with quiet, cold clarity, that this knowledge changes everything. This video changed how I see everything, and if it changed how you see it, you can no longer pretend that desire is about words, gestures, or timing. It is about the energy you bring, the alignment you maintain, the truth you carry silently into every interaction. You are the variable. You are the gatekeeper. And now, there is no going back.